the day before I went into the hospital was probably more or less my last day of being at work.
I was about 15 and I left home and came hitchhiking across the country.
And it was almost an afterthought for them to do an MRI, a brain MRI on me.
And the only way we had to get home was on his motorcycle. And needless to say, didn't make it home quite the way we had intended.
So I, in effect, retired 2 or 3 years earlier than I had planned to originally.
I spent the next 3 months probably slowly coming out of the coma.
Don and Jeff are 2 of the 5.3 million Americans living with the effects of traumatic brain injury and are members of Jody House. All of the members of Jody House have experienced a traumatic brain injury, whether it be from a stroke, car accident, domestic violence, or other causes. And even though their injury is often invisible to others, their brain injury has irrevocably changed their lives.
When Don first came to Jody House, he was completely apathetic. We couldn't get a reaction out of him. He didn't care if it was day or night, didn't care if you were in front of him or not. I really didn't know what to expect of him.
I remember that feeling of sort of standing alongside of myself, watching myself, as though there's somebody else in my body. Some cases, I would hurt people's feelings without ever having intended to do that.
Jeff has been coming to Jody House even before I started working here, and he has a very powerful impact on me and on other people with brain injury.
At the time when I quote-unquote joined the world, all of a sudden I had all these 3 hours that I had to fill up with something other than television and waiting desperately for someone to come visit me.
There is a high incidence of suicide for people with brain injury. There is a very high incidence of divorce with people with brain injury. It's very hard for the families to reorganize themselves, their schedules, their obligations around the needs of a person with brain injury. So the norm is that this person will be left unsupported.
Since my accident, I've lost a lot of friends, but many of those people have just, I think at least in part, because of that fear of what they don't know, they've just kind of been a little scared off or just alienated.
I was actually feeling guilty that I was making such continuous and endless demands on my family.
Commonly, there are difficulties with relationships, jobs, school, transportation, mobility, short-term memory, and communication. That's where Jody House comes in.
It alleviated any kind of guilt that I had at being such an endless burden.
Jody House provides classes in yoga, arts and ceramics, Reiki, dance, computers, and more, as well as therapeutic peer and family support groups.
Communication skills is one of my personal favorites. It's a place to socialize, just be with and around people that first of all get it, and second of all, what they don't get, they ask about, and they make an effort to get it.
I have, for years and years and years, long as I can remember, loved percussion. And Jody House has a very active and very kind of energetic percussion group. There's a wonderful sense of when it all is working at its highest level of losing yourself in what a group is doing.
Jeff is our honorary ambassador. He's always here with us, and he has a kind of wit that is hard to match.
I come away thinking, boy, I really made that person feel a lot better. When I went up to them, they were sad, and when I left, they couldn't stop laughing.
When I tell people that I work with people with brain injuries, most often people look at me and say, wow, that is tough. That must be really hard. That surprises me because it's not hard, it's not tough, it's wonderful. You're dealing with people who are smart and caring and want to help themselves, and they get better.
Jody House works hard to involve the families of their members in their ongoing recovery, and also focuses on encouraging small steps, small victories that add up to an improved quality of life. For brain-injured people, though, more than anything else, the simple fact that Jody House is there makes all the difference.
In the absence of Jody House, without being able to come here and be with my friends and so forth, I would most likely stop having any idea how to conduct any meaningful social relations. I would have no life. I'd end up probably recluding back into my room.
We support each other. He gives as much as he one day took from Jody House.
I'm left with very few and very slight and almost unnoticeable after effects from that whole episode. So I'm one of the lucky ones.
It's the one place where no explanations are necessary. We're all just people.